Good afternoon. It is 12:32 p.m. on Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. How's everybody doing? SPY wasn't doing so well this morning. It overnight ran up, obviously, for something I'm not even looking into. We're just trading the charts. And SPY didn't accept it and closed it. Not today, Jeff, but since we've closed it, we're now using this good old 455 that we talked so much about yesterday as kind of support. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are not a large bunch, but we are small but mighty. But I had a lot of good feedback from the people that were here yesterday, and it makes me feel good. You know, that's the whole idea about it, right? Empower. What is it? I have to get it down. Educate, empower, enrich. I think that's what the slogan that we're going with. What's that guy's name? Guy Fieri has diners, drive-ins, and dives. Triple D, we have Triple E. Educate, empower, enrich. More on that to come. We get the website finally okayed. Lots of action all across the board. A firm, I think we talked about last week that 41 was an option. I thought it was like pie in the sky type thing, thinking we were at the top of this trend and going to break out. The next level up is all the way up in 41. Now it's a stronger possibility than what it was. I mean, we're at 52-week highs. I think 34.96. Yep, that was this morning. 34.96. I might think, is this all time? No. What are you talking about? Not all time. At least for like the last year, right? So we're having this nice revisit to the 41 area. I marked off by the end of the year. There we should meet some resistance, and at least I would expect a retrace down to where we just passed. So remember where we are, kids. Remember where we parked, because we're gonna revisit this if we do reach here. That is such a strong look at this. This is a monthly candle, by the way. This might be the best month a firm has had in a very long time, aside from these 3 months right here. What is that? The end of 2021. Interesting. So pay now, no. Buy now, pay later seems to be a working theme. Look at that. Every week, green bar for the last 5 weeks. And it doesn't look any easier when you look on the daily. It's just getting ramped up. 3 white knights. Bing, bing, bing. Usually you look at this at the bottom of a downtrend or turnaround, but this is at the top of a trend. It begs the question, what in the hell are you doing? There's a lot of overextension in the market. And people said that a lot before the breakout on, let's see. Let's get it. During this, right after the pandemic, in the SPY, I mean, people were talking, oh my God, this is the best run ever from, we thought for like almost a full month that the world was ending, and then we had this super strong V bottom, and then overextend. When does the party end? The party's never going to end. Well, it does. The party does end, and now we have this retracement here. And then look, just like the candle we were just talking about, and if we zoom out, you'll magically see how it's a run-up, a test, a nice cup, a retest, a nice handle, and now the handle is breaking out. So if we turn off this mishmash here, my crayon drawings, you can see it. Cup, handle, breakout. I mean, looking at this pattern, a move higher is not ridiculous. It might seem ridiculous just because of the last, I don't know, month and a week that we had. But that's the power of the breakout. And look at this. The volume is decreasing the whole time we're flying up. Does that sound familiar? What we were watching yesterday, waiting for a breakout, waiting for the volume to come up out of nowhere after a lull. So this is something to watch here. You know, at first glance, not at first glance, but as a previous glance, it looked like it was running into a little bit of a ceiling. But when in doubt, zoom out, you can see right here, everything is gearing up for the possibility of higher. I'm not saying that we are going to go higher. Don't take anything I say as financial advice. We are here just for entertainment purposes, and everything we talk about is paper traded, right? Right? Right. So, getting back to where the price action may be going, it wouldn't be a shocker if we broke out and went higher. I have puts in place just because I just feel like a pullback is happening. But you can't trade on your gut. I have a gut instinct in a small position just in case, because if we did go down and I didn't play my gut, I'd be like, see, I should always listen to my gut, blah, 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 blah. So, but I am waiting for it to tell me what to do, right? We're not going to jump the gun, and we're not going to say, you know what, I know we're going to go higher. I'm getting 500 calls, 500 strike price calls on the SPY. You can do that if you want. I'm not saying not to, but it's just I would wait until we have a confirmation. What is a confirmation? What are we waiting for? On a breakout, you want to see a breakout and then a retest. We do not have a breakout yet. We are at the cusp. We're at the very cusp of it. Let's see, the last high was 457.82. Good old 457.82. We made a new high, 458.32. And you know what happens after making a new high? We go to see if it makes a new higher low. So we have a new higher high, and if this runs into this resistance again, we could see another little dip down, and this time if it holds, makes a new higher low, the attempt for higher is even stronger. If this does just continue with this momentum and break out, if we have this volume influx, right now we have the volume kind of lulling down, kind of getting rested, going to sleep. If that volume picks up right at the point that we need to break for a new high, I mean an even higher high, or even try and beat this high back here, which is not that far off. What is that? 67? No. Yeah. Wow, 67. 11 points. Not bad. Considering that we went just about 45 points in the last month, anything is possible. All your hopes and dreams. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining us here on this afternoon. I apologize. I did kind of have a tentative idea that I was going to come on earlier, but a little bit of a medical issue, but feeling great, ready to go. If you're here, thank you very much. Make sure you hit the like button. Consider hitting subscribe. And if you're here, you probably already did, and that's why you're here, because I didn't really announce this up until the last few minutes. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And there's more to come. This is the basics as it's ever going to be. But let's find out what the data is telling us, right? Our trusted tool, Quant Trading App, QTA. We're going to check in with that, because gut instinct is just that. It's an instinct. It's a human emotion. And we know that we can't trade on human emotion, right? Right? That's the theme of today. Double asking right. Hold on. Right? Right? All right, let's slide this over. What is this? Hold on a minute. Ta-da! This is your handy-dandy QTA dashboard. And what are we looking at here? Mixed markets. That's what the term they say, right? Today was a mixed market. Dow was up 10 points. Nasdaq hold steady. Right? Mixed markets. But what we want to look at, what we've got here is a failure. We look at the dashboard in the top, dozen and a half so stocks, and also the last four are our equities. We can click on the open, high, low, close chart and get into that. But we want to see where the SPY is going. Let's try and focus on the SPY and the Qs today, right? Just because, just for kicks and giggles. Like I said, we're going to try. We can bounce all over the place. So the SPY, this is the quant chart in SPY. I look at this one first. It has the 2-day VWAP prominent. We have the intraday ranges right here and the midpoint. Midpoint, I've come to learn or find is a lot more of a contender than originally thought. I did not give the respect that midpoint did. I didn't get the respect the midpoint deserved. You give me none. Why you come to me? Terrible, terrible, terrible impersonation. Not even close to being impersonation. But so I've learned that the midpoint is a lot more interesting, I guess, or requires more interest than previously thought. So get an understanding of my involvement with QTA. I'm a student of QTA, and I'm a user of QTA. So exploring all of the tools, I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I've come to just find that you get comfortable with one area, and then I get introduced to another one, and I get comfortable with that, and get introduced to another one, and so forth. That's the way, I like it, and that's the way I've been doing it. So as I come to learn something else, or someone else introduces something to me and I learn it, that's where we pick it up from there. The what I was going to look at, okay, the Qs on the 0 DTE option volume chart. This is almost like the quant, but a little more information, just a little bit, right? The 2-day VWAP is absent here, as like we were looking at on the SPY. The SPY quant chart has a visible 2-day VWAP, but the oval chart doesn't. But it has a lot more. So you know, where you increase one, you might not notice the other one's missing. Let's see what it looks like in a condensed area. I just like to do that to see. So we came in hot, and we've been funneling down, and now finally we have this pop overnight, which is unfortunate. And when things happen overnight, the market tends to decide like a judgment in the morning if they accept it or they give it they sentence it for retracement. This one was sentenced for retracement, and it was a perfect retrace. You know, we closed yesterday, say right around this level, which is now the party level, the 390, and now we revisited it and bounced off of it. Shocker, we bounced off of it. Why? Look at this. We have the absolute GEX. We have the max pain. We have the previous put volume. We have the previous call volume all around the 389 to 390 area. That's a lot of confluence. Excuse me. So now we're the next. That's it. We just anticipate. We don't improvise. Once we hit this, we are expecting a bounce off of it. Where do we go next? The next thing is the next level up, 391. Once that's broken, where do we go next? We go to the next level. The next one is the number one call volume and the regular 1-day anchored VWAP at the same level right there. So I'm going to check in and make sure that everybody hear me okay? Everyone see my charts okay? I have a habit of not signing on 100%. Or doing, I'm a student also of YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber. I just like to share when I find something important to share. But we may be going down that road. It's a slippery slope. And let's just pop onto the SPY option volume chart. If you guys are new today, or if you're watching this later in the future, check out yesterday's full day trading session. Full day. It was great. The people there kept me going. But we called out a nice few hundred percenters, baggers. But that's what it is. So now let's just take a look at our traditional charting here. We have a nice uptrend. We can turn on the high beams and bam, blind everyone. So we can see this clear uptrend right here. It's kind of respecting it. Might as well let it know that we see what it's showing us, and then the top is not necessarily important, but let's just mark it off anyway. It's a little bit of a wedge. How about a little wedge here? Right? Sound about right? Or if it's a flat trend, let's just pop in and see what it looks like. Maybe something like that. And we'll move for, okay. It's pretty wide of a trend there, Doc, huh? Yeah. If we bring it in. I see you now. So these might be just outliers. Ping, nope. Ping, nope. Overnight. Again, the bottom is really where I was concerned about. Because the top could go higher. If it's a breakout, it's a breakout. The bottom is what we're going to be watching. This bottom line. If this bottom line of the trend is broken, this is going to be a signal for we're not ready yet to do this breakout. But, I mean, we're here. We're already above it. What was it, 456 something? All the way back. Very interesting overnight and morning. So that's it. Just a break up overnight. Market at first kind of was like, okay, I can deal with this, but no. Then it was rejected and revisited the 455. I know I made that orange yesterday for a reason. It is a hard line. Hard line after hard line. So that's why we color code things. It's not just to make it look pretty. It's for reasons. This mug is massive. My holiday mug. All right. What was a few things we were looking at? I know Meta. Mila brought it up yesterday, and I think we talked about the 330 on Meta, right? We had a run up overnight, which was good. Sometimes a little exhaustion run up overnight kind of shakes everything out of the system. We ran up into this little resistance area, bing, right here, bing, this little accumulation / distribution day. That was overnight resistance. And in the morning, right back down. We actually got into the 330 area. So kudos to you if you took the 330 put. I would have gotten out of it this morning. Anytime you have, like, let's say we got a 330 put for a month out, and we revisited, we not revisited, we got there, what is this, a half hour in? No, 1 hour into market open. Actually, no. Okay, when did we get to 330? We got to the 330 area right by noon, right before noon. Consider taking profit. I mean, if not taking everything, just take 80% off the table. Just, I mean, the human thinking is, all right, I have a 330 put for January 1st, and I took it yesterday, and within 2 hours or 2.5 hours of market opening, we got there. This is looking good. We're going to go a lot lower. That may be the case, but you're never going to get that quick of a premium. I bet you the premiums were super higher than they normally would because of how fast it reached there. So you want to sell into strength, sell into buying strength, and you want to close. If you're on puts, you want to close into you want to close in momentum. That's basically it. I messed up the phrase, but if we're on if we're going up, all right, say, where's the last time? Right here. So let's say we got a call for Meta when we, just like right here. This is perfect. We got a 340 call for Meta right here for 2 weeks out. The next day, the next morning, it opens and it hits 340. That's good. Close it right there. You want to close into strength. Closing. Everyone's buying. You want to sell. You want to sell when everyone's buying, and you want to sell. You want to close when everyone's opening. Because it doesn't work when you try to think of the phrase for puts. It's the opposite. But I can't think of a good opposite. So you want to close into strength. That's really the whole idea of it. So if you have puts, you want to close them when the stock is going down. You don't wait for the bottom, have it return, and say, okay, you know what, that was the bottom, I want to close now. You're not going to get the price you want. You're not going to get a better price. So if you closed right here, because you can't sell to close a put. Well, you know, you sell to close a bought put, but you can also sell to open a put. That's why I'm trying to be very careful with my wording. So you just want to close into strength. If we closed a put here, I guarantee you the premium would be a lot more than if you closed the put here. Because now the buyers have the strength. Over here, the sellers had the upper hand. They got to call, you know, it just was free falling, sell, close it into it. I'm sorry. I might be over explaining things or not explaining things the right way I want them to, but it is, I think you get the point. Someone type in chat, I got it, or you're wrong, or something. Who's here? Let's see. Oh, how are you? Let's see. Cool. Good to see. So, on Meta, regarding that, remember, big red begets big green. So we had this big rundown. Now all those orders are eaten up. They're off the table. This big red is now opened up a possibility for a retracement, somewhat of at least a retracement, maybe 50%, maybe 75% retracement up, not retracement down. We're usually talking about a run up and a retracement backwards. Now this way it's a flush down and a retracement back up. And that's exactly what we're witnessing here. And to do that, we just draw the fib the opposite way. Usually you go from the ground up. Here we're going to go from the top down. And there's our 50 right there at 335, almost 336. We'll call it 336 just to make it memorable. And that finds a level right back there to the left. I think it was 335.70 actually. So that was the 50% retracement. And now if we look a little bit to the left, we find a break of that and a retest and a fly up higher. Right before that, we have a touchdown and a hard trampoline move off of it, only to beat it and retest it on the bottom side. Even looking left a little more, we have it touched during the day and overnight, and a fly up right after that. And the story continues. So this level is very important, and let's slide in the QTA to give us some little confluence on it. This is Meta, so what do we need to do? We need to pull up. That's my bank. We don't do that. Pull up. There we go. And I'll open up let's first check the Quant. Meta. And what did we say? 336, just about, right? 336 lines up with the intraday zone that we are now on the south side of. The 2-day VWAP is sinking below that. It's probably right around 335-ish. Yep. We are now right at the 1-day VWAP. So this is our first level to contend with. If that holds on the south side, we can revisit the max pain, which is at 332.50. If we break this one, then we look for the 2-day VWAP. We break that, we look for the intraday. Break that, we look for the midpoint. It's elementary, Watson, but it really is. It's just level by level. And if I had a computer to program it and trade for me, which I don't think I would ever have the confidence to be able to do that, I couldn't do it. Anyway, I would say, listen, program this into your computer brain. I'm not a coder, obviously you can tell, but program this. Once we break one level, expect to reach the next level. If that level holds and gets retested and rejected, expect to revisit the level previously broken. Conversely, if we break a level, wait for it to retest to go higher to the next one. play every level that way, and that's QTA for you. That's the 101. That's the introduction and 101. From using just that alone, you can be great. Obviously, it's not recommended to just use one tool. I never said that ever from the beginning. I always believe that the more tools in your toolbox, the better. There's a saying, measure twice, cut once. I like, when it comes to stocks, I like to measure 100 times and cut once. Maybe not 100 times, but you get the idea. Measure infinitely. Measure till you are fully satisfied, till you're content. But don't just do it on the first one. Say, oh, you know what? I believe Meta is going to go down. Hey, listen, QTA is telling us that we're reaching this VWAP and we're going to go down. I'm good with that. No. You want to at least get 3 or 4 cycles in there. What do you want to use? You can use QTA as a tool. You can use your traditional charting skills as a tool, which I rely on all the time. And then from there, you can use other ones. You can use sub-indicators. I have up here the MACD and the RSI just because it's the most widely used. And the first one actually probably, first two that everyone really learns. And you can use levels. You can use what Twitter says. Twitter's always a good tool. When they tell me to invest in something, I go in, all in now. Just be careful following people into it, and you should be fine. Never blindly follow someone who's calling out a play. Even when they show you the setups, like even when I post in the student Discord, I post the setup and I'll say I am interested in Meta. Oh, excuse me. Oh, apologies for that. I wanted to do like a quarter way stretch, but then it just ran away from me. Had to do the full one. But I say, if I say, oh, we reached 330, I like Meta to 335. That's not enough for anyone. I post a chart. I say, this is why we have reached here. This was our target, 330. This is a nice support. This was a lot of momentum coming down. There's going to be some profit takers here on the put side or on the short side. And there's going to be a lot of people who want to buy at this because it's a nice support level. And that's why we made it as a target. So once your target's met, you have to play what the plan is unless there's new data. So I'll show that, explain it, and not as a substitute for any individual's due diligence, but just to share what I'm thinking, that I'm not just plucking numbers out of the air and, just showing you why. So now, if we get on the micro view, is Meta really going to go back up to 335? I just said I don't pluck numbers out of the air, but I just did for that example. I did pluck 335 out of the air. But on our micro view, we can see that this is now a local resistance that it's fighting with, and it looks like it just popped it. And let's see what it looks like on a minute. Yeah. So we popped it a couple times, and now the third time. See this volatility right here? This is an expanding wedge. This is interesting. This is on the minute chart, and things work just the same on other time frames as the large ones. It's a little less trustworthy. You want to get the confirmation on a higher time frame in a macro view, but it's right there. It's an expanding wedge. It's perfectly symmetrical, actually. It's nice. You only usually see this in textbooks, and it has nothing to do with an actual price action. It's just 3 lines, and someone just draws in a chart, like up, down, and midpoint here. This is pretty interesting to me. Where's my tea? Nothing soothes like a cuppa. I learned that from my English friends. Cuppa. You fancy a cuppa? A cup of what? A cup of tea. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm new. So that's where Meta is at right now. It's contending with this most recent level right here. And back on the 5-minute chart, it has the green light to go higher. I don't know if we're going to go higher right now. I could see a pullback here. If this level holds, then we could see more way up. But I'm on the macro view put train for Meta. How far down? Let's take another look at it. But there's an if. This is our indicator for the day on Meta. Make it orange. Right? If this is broken, we'll look to meet 329.62. If this holds, we'll look to meet 335. Just play it by levels. That's really it. Oh, and back to the, let's check the GX. So we checked the quant chart on Meta. We checked our traditional chart. And now let's check the GX to measure for volatility and possible price movement. Open up another. We'll do it under advanced GX. Moving right along. Affirm was nuts. Affirm was absolutely nuts. This is cool. You can tell Bryant, who's a coder by nature, developed this because to get to a dark theme, you just easily go to settings and hit dark mode. I don't know why every website isn't like that. It should have a button right there on the side, light or dark. Instead of going to settings, users, personal preferences, advanced, hidden, BS, to try and hunt for the dark mode. It's all right here. Oh, we're still on SPY. I was like, wow, that has a lot of expirations. But Meta should be up there too. Meta should have a lot of expirations. Not as many as the daily, though, on SPY, but I'm referring to the side table here. By the way, if you're new to QTA, Advanced GEX page here is one of my new favorite pages to focus on. You can literally generate your own gamma exposure chart. It comes with everything. It comes with everything you see here, but it comes with everything you're expected to, with like the most call interest. It has the absolute GEX. It has the most put interest. It has all the fun bells and whistles, but in a chart form, right? You can see it live just like in an option chain, but it highlights the areas with you. So you can chart your own. If it's not covered in the automatic visual aid that is the quant charts, Meta is, by the way, you can map this out on top of your own charts, but you can also, it's when you import it to your TradingView or TOS, it's already there. But here you can generate your own chart. So we're going to uncheck all, clear the chart, clear the board, and we're going to go for 0DT this week, next week, and up to the 15th, which is the monthly, the OPEX, the options expiration. And we're going to submit this. And it's going to generate the report to us. It's going to go into the generation room and come back. Was that just a flash of my profile picture? That's weird. I think I need to change my profile picture. It's too casual for the it's too casual for the topics that we're handling. We need something more serious. There's absolute GEX right there. Purple at 330, right? And here we go, the most negative GEX right there, and this is the most positive GEX at 340. So we have a nice little window right here, and then all the way down here. Oh, this is funny. The most open interest is at the same strike price as the most put interest. That should be reflected on the GEX. And that was, what is it? 300. Where's 300? No, it's not reflected just yet, but I'm going to watch that level. That should, in my theory, that should get attention on this GEX level. Again, not 100% sure on that. It's just the way I'm using the tool. And just like any tool, there's a creator of the tool, and then there are users of it. So you think of Spalding, who he didn't really invent the baseball, but he standardized it. And he took he took what feedback from all the baseball players around the country and incorporated them into a standardized ball, which was genius because now anyone who wanted to play wanted to use the standardized Spalding ball, and all the other local ball companies were put out of business. But getting back to the point, which was what again? Right. So Spalding invented the baseball, but do you think Spalding could hit that baseball the same way Babe Ruth could? I don't think so. I mean, unless Spalding had a secret talent he wasn't sharing with anyone. But he created a tool. People use them differently. A lot of people use them to get base hits. Babe Ruth was amazing at just hitting home runs constantly, all the time. And according to the stories, he was not at his 100% mind. So that's pretty amazing. Anyway, what are we talking about? Sorry. Lots of positive Gex, 340 and above. So getting back to that chart that we saw here, where that nice little tight window, we have 340 and 330, and that kind of matches up where we are right now. We have the 330 as support, and the 340 is probably, I don't want to even say a magnet right now because I don't know. I think we were just there. I'm just going to let this data sit for a while and then revisit it. I don't want to make a call just yet. But this is only using the 3 weeks ahead of us. This Friday, the next, and the following. So this is a individualized report for what we're looking for. Because if we want to do a short-term swing on Meta, that's where we're going to look. So 330 is the bottom, 340 is the top. And we actually revisited the top one. We said 340 is the top. Make that yellow. And 330 was the bottom of it, which is the what's flying here. I'll put it that yellow. So now we have a range. Let's see when the last time we revisited. I think today's word revisit has to be revisited. I'm using it way too much. About 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Now we're coming back to it. Let's get into macro. That's too macro. 2 hours. This is interesting right here. Bottom of that trend. This trend line. It goes way, way, way back to June. Every time we touch it, so this is a double touch. We fly up, not that much, come back. This is really interesting, this V touch. Bing! Like a pinball off a concrete floor, just bing! But now, all the way up to that 340 area, that yellow line, 330, I think, is in the, it's just what's being plotted out, at least the way I'm translating the data, right? We'll see if it plays out. I mean, we did really get to the 330, but not fully, and you know what? I think that line was there for a reason. Let's leave it there. So maybe it needs to complete it a little more. We are on a bull pole, but we have an expanding wedge. We don't have anything that's actually giving us a direction as far as patterns go. Expanding wedge, from what I understand, could go either way, right? It doesn't really give us information. If it was an ascending wedge, right, we'd have a flat bottom here. No, I'm sorry. A rising support here and a flat top, not a flat bottom, right? That would indicate a continuation, a descending wedge on the top with a lowering or declining resistance, steady support, would lean more towards the bearish side, reversal. An expanding wedge, though, it leaves everything up to interpretation. So maybe the expanding wedge was the wrong call in what we're looking at. Let's just see if it's a flag. How about that? Does that work? Will you work? Will you work? No. Maybe more. And it's just going to play out here by the time we figured it out anyway. in either case, you don't need to label what you're looking at. You just have to have the understanding of what it represents. So if this was an expanding, descending, triangle wedge pattern, whatever it is, if you can look at it and say, this is not enough information for me to make a decision, that's all you need. That's really all you need. Checking the RSI, right in the homeostasis zone. That's the second time I used that word today, which is okay. I'm just noticing that I'm reusing words a lot. How you like me now? No. I'm not even going to try and chart this out anymore. I'm just going to wait for a direction on it. The Qs I really wanted to focus on a little today, a little more than normal, just because I think we were harping on the SPY yesterday, and I like to shake it up. I'm a disruptor. Whoa, my God. With buzzwords, one more stretch. Oh, my gosh. I don't know if you can hear the back cracking through the microphone. Oh, no, I have the back cracking condenser on, so you probably won't be able to hear it. Affirm. I have been, see, this is a flag, a red flag for when you should not try to trade a stock. If you're trying to pick a direction and you just want to get it right to get it right, that's when you should leave it alone. You know, if you say, no, I want to accomplish this, I want to conquer this. It's wrong to me 99% of the time before. I want to conquer it. That's okay. Do it with paper, right? We're not here. This isn't a game. This isn't a play. If you're investing your own money. Think about that. Would you give, let's say you walk around with all your cash on you, and someone comes up to you and says, hey, man, I got this great wind farm idea. You want to give me $100,000, invest in it, you can get $1 million back in 5 years. Would you be like, yeah, that sounds good. Here you go. Here you go, sir. And buy yourself something nice, too. For God's sakes, man, clean up your clothes. No, you would take his information, go home, research it, find out it's complete absolute garbage, and probably think about reporting him somehow. Same thing goes with this. For me, Affirm was, I wanted to decide, I wanted to figure out where it's going to go. And I think a lot of it has to do with learning, or what is it? Affirming my learning. Because I was saying, oh, we're at the top of the trend. We should be going down here. So I wanted to stand behind what I was saying. At the same time, though, we did make new highs, new levels. I mean, breaking new levels right here and retesting it. So it has easily gone up the other way. At one point, I said 41 was in target. At another point, I was saying, hey, we could go down to 26. We don't know. The fact that we didn't know is just that. If you don't know, don't go. Wait for a confirmation either way. The retest right here was that confirmation. Me, a little too biased to see it. I was like, okay, that confirmation, that retest is going to fail. We're going to see back down here. I held a couple overnight right during here and got burned on it yesterday. Still holding it now. Because why? Because I want to see how it turns out. And it's only a couple, and I want to, and blah, blah, blah. That's BS. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm doing it because I want to show something or prove something to either myself or a community, and you really shouldn't do that. And if you can find what you're doing wrong, that's the first step. The first step is admitting your problem. That's true for everything. Now, speaking of patterns, we have a beautiful ascending triangle. That's a very nice ascending triangle, Pilgrim. So we have an entry. We have an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, and an F. So according to that, A, B, C, D, E, F is for flush. We have an entry, A, touch to B. This is not really a touch. And that one's not either. So this is the C, that's the D, that's the E, and that's the F for flush. That's a possibility. If this is considered, if I didn't draw it right, if that's considered a touch, so A, B, C, D, E, F, and then we have G, H, whatever. So I'm going to stick with this for now and revisit it. And how do we trade this? Affirm. If we were to trade it, I don't think I would right now. If we were to trade it, though, you'd wait for a breakout, a clean breakout, and a new higher high. If you break out, and the same thing goes for breaking down. If it breaks down, you don't say, okay, it's failing, that's it, puts are on. You want to make a new low. And I always look back to not just the previous low in the triangle, but on one, maybe one or two before it. This should be a nice support if it breaks below it. If it breaks below and holds this, you can see action higher. And I'll map out that. Just a sec. Just a sec. A breakdown here. Can be a hold. Maybe even a double. Two possibilities. One in orange, one in white, and of course, a breakdown. A breakdown would defeat every prior low. Like that. That would be a confirmation of a breakdown. Once that happens, easy sailing to 32.62, and a breakdown of that, well, all the way down to 30. So those are the possibilities for down. Up, there is no information for up. We're in pure open air. Big sky country. 41. That matches up to the beginning of the cup. So if we recircle back up to that 41.10 mark, that will complete a cup. Expect the handle to come down. How big of a handle? And it'd have to be pretty big because it's a pretty big cup. 26 looks good because this is the peak within the cup. I call it the widow's peak. It doesn't make any sense, widow's peak, but you want to look for a peak inside the bowl, or in this case, the cup. It looks like the gold line and the dotted green line are those levels. So here's the cup. Bing. And the handle would have to come down to at least the 30 mark. 26 seems about right, though, because we touched it here, and we touched it again here. Although the 22 looks good. So I would stick in with the at least the 30. 30 is a safe comeback. We're going to have to put this out. We're no longer looking into this for a weekly. I do have a hedge for 41 calls expiring this Friday on a firm just to catch a nasty breakout. But my puts are the actual play, the 15th at 28. That's just what I have. It's not for anyone to follow. This is not 100%. This is not in fact, I just got over telling why it's not smart for me to do this. I'm just trying to. I'm being stubborn. That's really what it is. I'm acknowledging my own faults. Tea time. But what's the saying? If you're gonna be dumb, you got to be tough. And if you something else about being smart. If you're gonna be risky, be smart or something like that. The idea is that I know this is a play that I can't figure out, but I want to figure it out. So that's why I have it on my radar. I have a small amount of position invested in it, so I give it the attention that it needs. I have a hedge up in the 40s just in case we get there. That will cover the cost of the puts. It won't be a win if we get here, but it won't be a loss. It'll be almost close to a break even. It'll probably be a little bit of a loss because the hedges don't fully cover. No, anyway, enough about what I'm doing. Qs. The Qs, all right, macro view. Where are we? Is this like all time? No, 401. I can borrow one of these. Thousands of lines on here. I'll clean this up one day when I get around to it. When are you getting some furniture? When I get around to it. When are you going to get a lady? When I get around to it. Here we go. Here's a nice little cup. It didn't really finish off there. We kind of have a lower resistance. And now that little handle, pop above. Usually a cup and handle would be full circle. It's like a circle. Full circle, bing, handle down, break out to new highs. The same thing on the SPYs happened just like on the Qs. We didn't actually reach this level of 467. We fell a little short. So it's a little unorthodox, but it could still play out bullishly. And I think I have a, let's see what this highlight is. Let's see if they play this. Turn it up. Make some noise. So, going by the art of the pitchfork, we are at the inner tang, which is one of the strongest levels of the pitchfork. The inner, not the inner tang. It's the middle line within the inner tang sanctum, I guess you'd say. So this is going to be a hard resistance for us, but it's also lining up with a level resistance. So we have two areas to complete. A breakout here, I would expect a retest of it. If that holds, then higher. If we break out, come back, and get broken right into it, they're going to call that a bull trap or whatever they want to call it, but it's really just the retest failed. That's all it really is. And why do retests happen? That could be a whole course. Now, the reason is that just there are orders there, and when they get filled, they run amok, and then people miss their profit or miss their exit, and they realize that they want to start taking it, so the price falls a little bit. But if it holds here, there's not that many of it. It's a little more complex than that, but that's the easiest two-sentence explanation I can give. Were we talking about AMD? Yeah. AMD. Mother, father, AMD. That's another one, just like a firm. It was at the top of a trend, expecting to come back down. But now, if you look, there's a little outer trend, if you will. Oh, where's the auto button? Hang on. Bow. How do you like me now? I moved that. Wow, I moved that perfectly right. That was a good move. And blue line, I think that's Max Payne. I'll have to double check. But there is an outer trend. Hang on, I'll fix that. I'm just checking to see if it's the same degree. And we just get the tippy tops. Just like that. Take it off extended hours so we can have a little cleanliness here. So what are we looking at? We're looking at an upward channel after a run-up. This just, to me, screams bearish. But this also is what breakouts are made of. Ridiculous momentum, continuation of that momentum, and then a recharge of all the indicators only to fly higher. So we're looking at, speaking of indicators, we're looking at complete bearish divergence, right? We see the tops or the peaks of the MACD are just in a constant decline. Same thing with the RSI, constant decline from 90s down to 72s, and now we have a new higher one. Okay, that makes things interesting. It's the same. Declining, rising, bearish divergence. So we look at this pop today, and we're thinking, oh, wow, that's it, new highs to come. But when we're looking in the macro view, we see this trend. Now, let's pull up our GX in our quant. Right. We were looking at a firm. Help me here. Help me help you, AMD. AMD is on the quant charts. So we go here. We go to Amanda. We go to AMD. Da-da! Yesterday's VWAP kind of flat as the previous day before that. Today's second 2-day VWAP is almost it's a non-issue right now. Right now it's a non-issue. After this run up, the 2-day VWAP stays a little more anchored, right? Because it's not the daily VWAP that just ran up and now this one is almost useless. Okay, we're just dancing around it. This one is so far away that people are like, okay, I'm not going to use that for trading today. What if, or how would you, right? How would you use it? If we start getting a serious bounce off this top VWAP, this is your first target. Your second target is this confluence level right here, the midpoint and the intraday, the bottom of the intraday. So this one is in play. It's just not what you're normally used to, the regular VWAP. And you'll get to use it. You know, you'll get to understand it if you're new to QTA or you're not really using it. The more you're accustomed to it, the more you'll realize how to use it. So this, to me, is a great point for the 2-day VWAP. We have a direction. We have a target on this side, and also a nice target of the intraday above. It's just this little tiny VWAP in the way. So if we get momentum and we blast through this VWAP intraday up here, this zone is looking pretty good. If this holds, we have a rejection. This is looking pretty good. So remember I said that, right? It's 129. We'll see. We'll come back to AMD, and we'll see if either one of those will touch. We might just range into close. We had a nice pop. It's holding. We might just see this range into close and hold. Or we might see something at the end of the day. Oh, I can't wait. We'll have to wait and see. How's the SPY doing? Let's get in there. Get in there. It's your men in there. Look at this ridiculousness. Ridiculous. What was this pop for again? Overnight. Day before. I still didn't look into it because I don't need to get all involved in the news because every piece of news has something a political tie to it, and it just it gets me too amped up. And I left all that behind, and I feel so much better about it. Okay, so this is really not even. This isn't telling us anything, Doc. What are we doing here? Let's get rid of that. I don't like that at all. This is all openness. I want to connect the dots, but sometimes the dots don't need to be connected. But it's hard not to see when 3 points match something. And this is where, you start maybe forcing things, and that's not good. Huge expanding wedge on the SPY. Yes. So even though we gapped up huge in this area here and we made this extreme new high, we did revisit it. We came back down and we covered the gap. But we're holding this 455, such a strong level. And making that orange yesterday, when I had first time after my rough morning, I was like, oh yeah, look at that. It's going to hold. And it did. We have perfect tweezers action right here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. If you're just joining us, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. If you have any questions, I can pull it up any chart you want. And do me a favor, hit the like and or subscribe button if you want to stay in contact with all the ongoings of 1on1Stocks and also QTA. Lots of QTA talk around my clientele, right? People are really getting accustomed to it and liking it. All right, Tesla, that's another one. Tesla, we were saying that it had room to go to, I think, 247, 240. Let's see where we marked off right here yesterday. 246. That's the one we marked off yesterday. We gapped up, came down, retested it, and now we're testing it again. So if this holds, it will turn into a double bottom, a double touch. If this fails, it'd just be a normal fail of a level. We go to look down to the next one. And before we pull up the QTA, I'm just going to mark off where I see the traditional level to go down to be right around 241.60 with a nice stop right here. I'm just going to borrow that one. At good old 245. So it looks like we're going to revisit this level here. This is a pole. This is a little expanding flag here. This should drop, fall, and either hold or fail. A fail brings us down here. A hold brings us up for another attempt higher. I don't see more high coming on Tesla, but wait, before I don't want to commit to anything because this did touch and complete its mission. Its mission was to make it to the top here to turn around. I say a mission because we've been trading Tesla for the past couple months, and it's been following this trend perfectly. A touch on the bottom, touch on the top. Didn't really quite make it down. We touched the midpoint. If we had a line right down the middle, that would be the line right here. Came back up, touched again. What happens? Double top. A little more stronger effort into the direction opposite, right? So we have one touch, two touch, strong direction down. One touch here, came back up to the right to that midpoint. In fact, I'll draw it out because we're talking about it a couple times here. And maybe this will be in play on the Tesla's way down. Right, somewhere right in there. Yeah, that looks good. Right here, one touch, flew up. Second touch, flew up. Gapped over this whole section, touch, another gap up. So here, right below this dotted line, is a major gap. Double rainbow, double gap. It's like two stores in one. Baby gap and regular gap. Baby gap, adult gap. Adult gap actually turned into a point of consolidation here. Took us higher, took us to the top of the trend. Now, baby gap is going to probably step in once we get below 231. If we get below 231, I should say. If we get below that, that's going to kick in, start the engines, take it down to 224, and then momentum should carry us down. Now, that's going to be the interesting part. You haven't even heard the most horrible part. If we do break all through that, we now have a couple things to look at. We have this level here, which should be a strong level. I'll make it gold. You know, we only have to look back to see a touch, a break, a gap over, a retest, and go higher. That's a strong level. The other issue is this rising bottom pitchfork tang right there. That is going to come perfectly aligned with also our brand new center line right off the assembly line. It's shiny, it's beautiful, it runs on air. That's all meeting up right here. Now, you'd think it'd be too good to be true that this becomes a point of contention, this exact mark. And we're just going to highlight that as soon as I find the rectangle, as something to remember this conversation by. This area, knowing Tesla, it's almost like it's scripted, right? It'd be really dramatic if this three-way intersection is tested by the price action of Tesla. But Tesla likes to lean towards dramatic, right? So remember this. Remember this line. We'll see you again. I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. The only reason a reason we shouldn't visit that is a complete breakout on Tesla, which makes a lot of sense. If we get on the daily and we shut off all my crayons, we have a bowl here, a not fully complete bowl. Sound familiar? And a nice handle for like the last 5 months. And this is an inverted perfectly right here. Inverted head and shoulders. You have a head, shoulder, head, neckline. Someone had their arm out. The came back up. But if you look at the levels, that's where you want to watch. You have the shoulder reaches the level of around 165. The head comes down. The shoulder again around 165. And then a little dip, but still within that area, and fly back up. Interessante, yes. So locally, in the 50-minute, I see this as a little bit of a bearish move, right? A run up, a big attempt, rejection, a smaller attempt, and now we're using the same support as we were using earlier as resistance. This is a heavy line. It's probably already drawn out, but just remember this, 245.23. Turn it on, and there you go, right there. There's that level. 245.23. If 245.23 should break, everything we just talked about is in. This is the triangle that we were working on. We should probably clean that up. That's useless now. That was kind of harsh words. I'm sorry, Triangle. Thank you for your service, but we are no longer requiring your services here. So this dotted white line is huge. Again, I'm using that word all too often. I have to start cycling through my thesaurus here. Gapped over it, retested, 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 and now retesting again. It's like you're trying to get through a door. You put your shoulder into it. Didn't work. Put your shoulder through it again. Okay, let me back up. You know, think of it. You can think of it that way. It's not you. I don't think you'll find that in any textbooks, but you get a running start. You have more momentum on your side, and keep in mind, I've said this a few times, that Tesla trades like independent traders trade. There's a lot of FOMO going on, right? So once you get a move happening, that move tends to get piled on. So if we should see a big move happening here, I would expect a little more, a little more momentum, I guess you'd say. And let's go to the videotape. Let's check the divergences, right? We have a rising MACD. You're just looking at the peaks from point A to point B, rising. RSI confirms A to B, and look how hot this was. Hansel, he's so hot right now. 86.20. That is furnace levels, especially for Tesla. Tesla doesn't like to spend any time over like 75. So we got that hot. We wanted to come back down. We didn't even get to below the 50 mark, just a bit outside, just hanging on at that 51.40, and now retesting that level here. Same as go with the price action. It's starting to follow. Came down, tested it, and now we're retesting it there. But what we're looking at is rising, rising. There is no divergence here. Rising, rising. You can go one back. Here's a level. Here's a level. This level is lower. This price is higher. So the macro view has more divergence, right? Lower, higher. This is the outcome. Bearish divergence. Are we beginning to build a picture of how you get confluence for entering a trade? Now it's not, okay, let me turn to my puts and start buying some puts. We don't know if this is going to be enacted yet. We have to wait for a signal. We have to wait for everyone to get piled into the car before we, that analogy fell apart real quick. We want to wait for everyone to be ready and get going in the car before we plan the trip. No, it's the opposite way around. We're planning the trip right now. We're marking off our destinations on a map, but everyone's not in the car yet. That works better. We want this to say, okay, let's go. Honk, honk, honk. Get out here. We're ready to go, Dad. All right. That's when we go. That's when we start saying, okay, now I can actually play it down to this level because this is easy to go right here. This is on a 15-minute. So if we make this a 30-minute chart, this will be one green candle. And like magic, what now? We have more green candles? All right, let's go to the hour. Okay. Okay. You see how they're getting less and less and less? Now it's like 4, one big candle. No resistance. But we have some right here at 236. Getting back to our 15. So on the 4 hour, we saw one huge candle. Taking up all this area of yesterday. We break 241.60. We easily can go down to 235. How do we know that for sure? We don't. So then we double check. We check in all of our possible tools that we can. First, let's check the quant chart to see where we are. On good old Tesla. Tesla. I have to always say it that way just because. And thank you to Matt Kors. He got me that in my head. Learned a lot. A lot of YouTubing. What do you call it? I was going to say aneurysms. Mannerisms from him. Good egg. The idea here is that we are looking to possibly break or hold at 244.68. The 2-day VWAP has been respected. There's no reason why it shouldn't stop respecting it. And we have the intraday. This is now confluence. 244.80 is a strong level. Getting back to the charts, what do we have at 244.80? Not much. We have something at 245.20. Let's see how far off the math is from where we leveled everything off. That's 244.80 right there. This is the level we had. So this is confirmation that we're not crazy, right? And that was way not straight. You know what? We can get rid of that. Stick to the quant. It's close enough to my visual traditional level, so we're just going to leave it there like that. And now the one below it, we have marked off at 241.60. And let's check. What is that 241.60? Nada. Well, we can look at here. Look at here. Look at here. Yeah. Yeah. That's where we got our 241.60 from. It's this past support level. So even though the quant chart uses mathematics, it's still, you can still see the price action. So it's not marked off in the chart. That means there's no real levels there. But we can go actually a step further. We can look at the advanced GEX. We can see that if there is a high call volume or a high put block or something like that, and we can draw that on our own charts. You can do that on TradingView. Actually, there's a link in the description below for TradingView. I don't know if their Black Friday sale is still going on, but that link below gets an additional, I think, $15 off. I don't know what plan or whatever, but that's just the affiliate link. So. So that's really what we're looking at. Oh, and because it's Tesla, right, we have the feed. We have the 0DTE feed that's available on both the website under Advanced GEX, but I like to pull it up under the Discord. Oh, let me check the messages first before I slide it over and share it. So this is the QTA Discord. These colors are not a part of it. It just, that's how I've changed it. It'll be the same as what you're looking at. Just have to say, sometimes, don't expect it to be all fancy like mine. No, it's easy. If you want, hit me up in chat. Find me in chat. Tell me that when you come over to the other side, you find me in chat, and I'll show you how to do it. It's so easy. It's so easy. A caveman can do it. So this is the SPY. We want to, okay, before we get into the SPY, let's stick to it. Stick to the plan. Anticipate. Never improvise. Man, if you guys are into movies at all, and I'm a big fan of David Fincher, the new movie he has with Michael Fassbender, it's called The Killer. It's amazing. It's not what you think. I mean, it might be exactly what you think, but it's got more than what you think. It's inside the mind of a international hitman, which always sounds like a good plot to a movie, right? But it really is a totally different look. And David Fincher, you can't go wrong. So, come for the stocks, stay for the film advice. So, the GEX on Tesla, we have a nice absolute GEX right here at 245. And this was probably at one time the number one strike GEX. Now it's number two. Number one is just a little higher at 250. Now let's go backwards in the feed. This might be a good example on why the feed is such a good tool. How should we do this? Let's leave this one up. I'll bring back up the Discord and just go back up the feed. So we said that our theory is the absolute GEX was the highest at one point in time. And we're going to go back up. This is 11 o'clock. And that's yesterday. I want to get to the first one of today, right here. First of the day. Ooh, no. Just a bit outside. But this is interesting. We started the day at the top GEX, right? And now we should, this is great. This will be a good, should I clip it here? Okay, let's try this. I'm going to try and do a video, clip video inside a video. Yeah, so what we're looking at here is Tesla, the GEX chart. And we're starting at the top of the day. This is the 9:15 time period. We have the number one GEX strike up here at 250, we said, right? And that's where the spot price is. This is where we open. If we travel through time throughout the day, we'll skip a couple. We'll start to see where the spot price goes from that. It gravitates a little higher, right? Gravitates a little higher. And where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where the ball stops, we'll never know, right? Went a little higher, and now it's coming back to 250. So 250 is already in the books, and we're traveling down. We're traveling down, we're traveling down, we're traveling down. And we're getting closer to the absolute GEX. The absolute GEX price has not moved. It stayed with the second highest GEX. So if we were on in the morning and we were getting the day running, we had seen it go up to this level, which was amazing to me. I would have now expected it to, if it went even higher, I would expect it even more try to revisit this lower area, because you have the absolute GEX and the second highest price strike amongst, and the third one is not even close. It's less than half. The absolute GEX is at that level. That's also a good magnet. And you have the max pain, which is even further down, which acts as a magnet, but not in this case as much as this confluence with the absolute GEX and the second highest price strike. The more you use these charts, the more you'll be able to see the areas that get it. So we did not take into account that the call volume behind it, the highest call volume was where we opened, and the second highest was all the way up at like 255. That could have had some pull to get that price action up above the 250 in the morning. But now I think we're traveling down, and we should see this one hit the 245. So now we have the information that we started out with this GEX. We went above it, so this one is taken care of. This is a check. We can cross that off the list. We're not going to cross it off. We can check it, right? So that's, and again, the more you use the GEX charts in confluence with your trading charts and the quantitative charts, the more confluence and confidence you'll have in your trades. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see how that comes out. Right, so getting back to it, the absolute GEX, right, is at 245, and the second highest priced GEX strike, the second highest GEX strike is at 245. That's confluence. We should see 245 in the near future. On the traditional charts, That marks off perfectly. That's where we said we were expecting Tesla to go and retest it. If it retests and holds, we should go higher. That makes sense. Let me pull up the GEX chart again. There is more interest higher than there is lower. There is absolutely, it's almost a non-issue, the negative GEX that's here. It's in a navy blue, which means the total net GEX is positive. If these have been red and a lot bigger, obviously, that'd be the total net GEX is negative, which would increase volatility, and we'd have some type of move happening there, because that's when the market makers like to cover. They don't like to be negative GEX exposed. They go short. Oh, sorry, got to stretch again. Oh, yes. Come for the stock advice. Oh. Watch someone stretch. And tea. Oh, it's cold. I like it. Oh. Coming up to 2 p.m. And we're just kind of like slowing down here. We're slowing down. After a big reaction this morning, a big pop and a big correction, everything kind of like takes a breather. And it takes a little wind out of the sails, and everyone tries to kind of recoup. I don't like how this looks at all, but I don't like how it doesn't have something there. That's just me. I have to get over that. This is the important level right here, this bottom level. This can actually be like that. No. No. That's not right either. See, if you thought support levels and resistance were a science, trends and diagonal drawings is an art and a science. So a good example of that is, if I would tell a seminar, I would never do this, but I said, if we hand out, what is in here, 25 people, we've handed out 25 pieces of paper and said, draw 25 pieces of paper with this chart on it, and I would say, draw what you see, we would get back 50 examples of what they see, because the people would flip the paper over and draw something else. So you're going to get 2 examples from every person. So that's what constitutes an art and a science. It's not set in stone. Someone can view it differently than what I see. So someone could submit a chart. And by the way, guys, if you ever have a chart you want to submit, and we can pull it up live, just put it in the Discord, and I'll pop it up here. We can take a look at it. The idea that this is set in stone is ridiculous, because someone else could say, all right, you know what? I see, I don't know, I see consolidation and then increasing volatility. So it could be more expanding. Who knows? Who knows what other people see? That's the idea. I don't know what other people see. So sharing works. So I do know I started the stream after the action was over, and that was on purpose. No, just kidding. But we will see, if we range out to the end of the day, we will see action tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, and what do we have on plate? Is there any type of I think the Feds are speaking like all day, every day. It's like Fed week. And I don't normally, I used to like want to watch them live and see what they had to say. Now, I really don't care. I'm sorry. I mean, I do care. I mean, like, I'll read like a synopsis if someone shows it to me, but I don't care to watch it live. So what do we have? Oh, tomorrow is GDP. It's the first revision. Then 8:30 a.m. has the advanced U.S. trade balance in goods. I'd be interested in hearing those numbers, actually, just for personal curiosity. Then at 10 a.m. we have the Atlanta Fed. Then at 10 a.m. also we have the Richmond Fed. 1:45 p.m. we have the Cleveland Fed. And then, oh, this is today. Sorry. Today we have the Beige Book. I remember saying, I thought the Beige Book was Wednesday. I was looking at, okay. So this morning was the GDP. That's probably why we had all that action, you think? Or was that prior to 8:30? See, this is why I don't I just trade the charts. I don't know what the numbers were. If they are of significance and you have them, post them in chat. But the beige book is right in 3 minutes. A lot of people don't put a lot of weight in the beige book, but as these markets are going, how they're trading, they're ranging. We had a pop, a revision, a correction, and now we're just trading into it. The same thing happened on SPY, right? A pop overnight, a correction, and now we're kind of staying within range. 2 p.m. is not that far off. It is less than 130 seconds. 2 minutes and 10 minutes. Yeah. 130. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Math takes a lot out of you. Math. It's what's for dinner. Tomorrow morning is the jobless claims tomorrow morning. Personal income, nominal, personal spending. Those would be interesting. And the PCE index, the core PCE. Lots of things. And then 9:05, New York Fed. 9:45, Chicago Business Barometer. Oh, okay. I'll be interested in that. And then 10 a.m. is pending home sales. I'm interested in that, actually. The whole housing market is in a tizzy, right? And the housing market is debatable that it drives the markets that we're looking at. Merger rumor in healthcare. Oh, wow. Hey, can you please look at CI and HUM? Absolutely. Locke, what's going on, brother? We have just over a minute. CI. I'm going to pop him on the spot list. Ooh, gosh. Oh boy. And HUM. I see Locke trying to catch the falling knife on that CI. Locke has a really good eye for finding investment opportunities. What, do they just have bad earnings? Oh, no, that was a while ago. Something else probably came out. That's got to be catalyst driven, right? So depending on what the catalyst is. Oh, is this merger rumor? Okay, they go together. Those two. I read them backwards, but now if I read them in succession. Humana is one of, coming from an insurance agent background, Humana is the second, I haven't checked the numbers lately, but it's the second most popular choice for Medicare. Cigna, I don't know where, I don't think it's in nationally, I don't know about the top 5. So I guess, wait, who's getting acquired? So by the charts, it looks like Humana is getting acquired, but I thought Humana was the bigger company. Cigna might be the bigger company, just maybe not as popular. Cigna shares fall after Wall Street Journal reports combination talks with Humana. That is going to be a powerhouse, though. Oh, boy. So they're still discussing the deal. Oh, wow. Yeah, Cigna is bigger. Cigna is bigger than Humana. But I'm telling you, it just feels like Humana is more. I know I haven't not been contracted by Cigna in a while. But Humana is like, it's just more asked for. Maybe they do much more advertising. That makes sense. If Cigna is the bigger company but less popular, and Humana is more popular but not as getting the revenue they needed, that actually makes really good sense. And now it is 2:01. Let's just pop over to the SPY and see if the beige book releasing has anything to do with it. And then we'll look at Humana. This time I brought something to eat. Sorry about stretching. It's gotta be done now. This time I brought something to eat. I brought a little English muffin. I'm gonna take a time out in a little bit. Anything? Wait for it. You know, I'll keep this on another screen. There. Hold it. the main viewing screen. Ooh. If there's any movement on this, it's just going to be used as a tool to trade the way they want to trade. Meaning that if the market reacts poorly to it, and the intention was for SPY to go higher, it will hold here and will just end up going higher. If the intention of the market was to take it lower, this catalyst could have that, could be that, that snap to break this create a new lower low, and then you'll see the bandwagon start piling on that. But if it holds here, it's just a random catalyst event that has temporary action on the market. I have to do a little bit of house cleaning here in my banking. Just a second. Coming up to that level. Let's turn these high beams back on so we have a little bit of a... I don't want to move that level because that was something we found. This is the new level. A new level of confidence. I really did enjoy hosting in a private, private Zoom-esque arena. For the sole reason to be able to play music, like actual known copyrighted music. It's great. But on the YouTube arena, it cannot be done. Oh, okay. I see. That makes sense now. Sorry. Thinking out loud. We didn't even reach that level that we marked off. We held at the 455.91, so that's probably 456. What does the quant look like? This is not refreshed in the last 5 minutes. Let's see. I guess it was. We're still hanging out at this 456 level. Doesn't it look... I mean, just erase everything, you know about how to look for data and, where to look for levels. Doesn't it just look bearish to you? We come down, we have a touch, and then we have a rounded top. Doesn't it look like it wants to revisit 455 again? At least in my eyes, that's what I see. Where's the 2-day view at? It's like the crocodile in the water. If you're out with my man Crocodile Dundee on the back rivers, back country of Australia, you're enjoying the canoeing, but you're always looking out for where that big old crocodile is. And right now it's at 244.50, coming up to converge and have confluence with the intraday south level. So this is a major level, 244.68 to be exact. I think we had that marked off. What did I say? No. Was I looking at Tesla? That's why. Tesla. Jesus, Doc, get it together. 245, 244.68 on Tesla. On the SPY. Get it together. See what's happening. See, that's the downfall also of YouTube, is that instead of me playing copyrighted music, you have to listen to me sing it, which is a shame. Because I've never been a singer. Never been much of a singer. I was a screamer, though, in a hardcore band. 455. That, 455.33. With the 2-day VWAP, 455.46. That area, I guess all the way down to the regular 455. 455 to 455.30. 455 to 455.30. It's the wrong one. This may be a box type situation. Right there. So this is our box of resistance. Box of resistance. Resistance. Whole big old area. And it actually makes kind of sense back here. We had a fight and a fight and a fight until it finally rejected off the bottom and went flying back up. If this is revisited today, this would be a lot of contention. Because, I say if, because we have a nice run-up and a nice flag. Pole and a flag. Apologies for not seeing that sooner. But we saw it now. It might not even be a flag. This is an outlier. This may be... I know I'm always biased because I always see triangles, but really, this looks like a triangle to me. And I see it. I see this. I see dead people. No, I don't. But I see this playing out. And we have an entry, an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, an F for a flush up. Ooh, that'd be interesting. So watch for a flush up here, according to the ABCs, which is not a proven theory. It's just something I look for. I find it to be more useful than not. So it's not something random, but it's not something proven. There you go. We're flushing up. You see what I mean? Also, that's something that's not proven, is what I was mentioning earlier, is that if I do have a breakout, you look to the prior high of the trend, and if that holds and you get rejected, then you could actually see re-enter the pattern and go lower. So even though this might be a positive or a bullish breakout, if it doesn't beat the previous high, I know this is the previous high, but if it doesn't beat the more astute or more prominent high, I guess is the best one, and this one is, because we came running up to it, a lot of force, and we got rejected with even more force, right? And if we extend the line, we can see here, this is a major line. This is going to be hard for the SPY to break if this does continue with that flush up. That's going to be a major, major line. No other information under here. A little noise around the same area. So this seems to be nice support. This seems to be nice resistance. We could get caught in a range up here. Let's make this a little level. Get there, get there, get there. Make it 0. Mark it 0. right, he's marking it 0. Put the piece away, man. Again, apologies. I speak English and movie quotes and songs. So if you hear me say something random, it's probably a movie quote. Okay, look at that. Kiss. Gotta go. See ya. Pretty interesting. A little bit of sunshine in your life. See, that song stuck in my head. All I would want to do right now is play it one time. We look at them one time, and then delete them forever. But I want to play it one time, get it out of my head, so I stop singing it to you guys, and then we move on with our lives. Hey-o! At least Mila gets my humor. Unfortunately, it has no place in a Wall Street arena. That's not really. I mean, the guys I remember working with at Morgan Stanley were like professional comedians. But I'm saying in this arena. Oh yeah. I feel like it's gonna rain soon. Pain. It's what's for dinner. All right, Locke, let's take a look at Humana. I had Humana up on the big screen here. This is technically I'd be interested in just watching this now, but I mean, as a from what you brought to my attention, the fact that they're merging, I'd be interested in watching this one play out. I don't know the structure of their merger. I would definitely look at what they result in, how they're going to handle, the shareholders, because you have a major amount of shareholders on both sides, and you have a different in price. Obviously, one is almost twice the amount of the other. I don't even know about the amount of shares and how we get into that. What's the shares outstanding? 123 million. Free float is just under that. Free float cap is 60 billion, as opposed to Cigna. Shares outstanding is about 300 million. Free float is just under that. Free float market cap is 76 billion. So yeah, Cigna is just a little bit bigger than Humana, but it looks like a floor has been found. We were just seeing that on Humana, right? I'd be interested in this if this holds. Yeah, 100%. Like machetes falling from tops of a tree. But I mean, I've met a lot of people that trade fundamentally, and the name of the game is finding and researching, finding that little inkling that says, oh, this may be interesting, and then diving deep headfirst into all the technicals, and then keeping up to date with it. And from what I've known of you, I've come to trust your opinion or your thesis on these things. And I know that the stage you're in right now is just like, hey, this is interesting. So all I can do is give you the best technical analysis I can. And if we have the same chart on Cigna, that would be interesting. We do not. But we have a solid floor on Cigna. Let me just get this one more, and then I'll look over. Right there, I see it. Fundamentally, Cigna is fantastic. Just not to know when to enter. Yeah. So let's find an entry, right? This, right off the bat, this is a good entry here. If this fails, this is an even better entry. So if this keeps falling, this would be the area right here. I'll make it double rainbow. Holy. Sorry. That is an outtake from a random YouTube clip called Double Rainbow. So let's see the indicators, right? Good old divergence. Who wants to hear about divergence, right? Mila does. I know Mila appreciates the divergence. But we have a rising price action on the top and a flat MACD. Looking at our trusty chart, That is a bearish, exaggerated divergence. Now, it's like, well, the catalyst came into play. How does, that know that? Somehow it just reacts the way it's going to want to react. Yes, I know you do, Mila. I always give you shout outs for the divergence. Kevin, where's Kevin? Kaylin, he doesn't. He's hard at healing people right now. He's doing the Lord's work, or the science work, however you like to think of it. But so there we go. Bottom right here. Solid entry 238.82. If this continues to fall, remember the news, what it just came out this morning, right? All right, and then Humana. So we don't know which ticker is going to take over. We don't know who's going to get what. Is there going to be, what is that? Conditional shares? Is there going to be full shares? Is some going to be cash? I bet you one of these companies has a huge war chest. Huge. I bet you they have millions of dollars in the war chest, and another one does not. But what the other one lacks in war chest, it makes up for in maybe popularity. So I'm guessing the one with the bigger war chest can have an influx in cash, promote the other one who has the talent or more talent. Together, they can conquer the world. The same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. This was a previous trend right here. That was a nice one. Until it gapped down. Not on earnings. Interesting. I wonder if this, I would look up this date right here, Locke. June 14th area. See what happened there. That might have started the whole merger ball rolling, because that was some bad news right there. Team trading is the place to be. No, that doesn't work. I don't like it. Make it a full one. No. Vertical. I want horizontal. Horizontal is the place to be. Here we are. All right, now we're having something here. Humana, if it goes any lower, it's just easy level to break, easy level to break. This is the hard one to break down here. This is the final. Yeah. Maybe here? No. That was it. Because even after this horrible day, they had a horrible pot, it held here. So all this momentum down, that held. That to me tells me this is a strong level. And I know that's really far away from the price action that we're at right now. I'm just looking at all possibilities. We want to anticipate, not improvise. So barring what comes out, so I think it jumped. So I thought at one point, yeah, people thought this was good news for Humana until maybe they got wind of what the stipulations were, and it just started selling off just like Cigna. A little bit of a push up. Hey, this is good news. Wait, no, maybe not. But people react to news differently, because they might have been holding this for 10 years, and they're like, I can't believe they go ahead and do this. This is ridiculous. That's it. Or just simply the unknown. I have no idea what Humana is about. I don't care to look into it. I've been holding for 10 years. Doesn't owe me anything. I'm out. All these factors come into play. Same thing with the institutions. They might have been holding for a while. They started trimming. Who knows? But this almost met that up again. I don't know. That's really that's all I have to say about that. Run, Forrest. But definitely, I would like to stay updated on that. I'm starting to get back into investing in long-term positions. When I say that, I mean like buying and holding shares. CRISPR was my first major, like, getting into the water again. Hey, excellent. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And you're amazing. You talk about hearing that I'm helping you just is amazing, because the stuff you find and bring is tremendous. Or is it looking up? Crisp, right? Oh, speaking of stocks to look into long, and members bringing up, we have COHR. So this is CRISPR. Ran up, pulled back, ran up, now leveling. Still, this is the level, 71. I think these are recharging. I think this might hold. We have volume, bang. Coherent, right? This is one that Ron brought up, and I brought to your attention, Locke. This is reaching the top of the range here. What I was saying for Coherent was that we are expecting a pullback, and hopefully we would hold the 32.86, right? This level top might trigger that pullback or a breakout. We break out, look left, nothing. Even on the previous side of that gap, it's all choppy. That's nothing. So when I turn on the volume gap, right, I'm going to turn on the volume profile. Not turn on the volume gap. I'm going to turn on the volume profile to see a gap. That's a terrible. We should see a volume gap like this displayed on the side here. And then we're going to turn it on, and we'll see. Bam! Look at that. Nice volume gap. Strong resistance right here. Strong like bull. Strong support right here. This is actually on its way into the volume gap. It just has to get past this 38 mark. I mean, I can actually get it a little more technical, since we're getting all technical about it. 31, 38, 38, 33. So keep that, just over 38. Keep that in mind. We are at 37 and change now, so we're close. We are close. I don't know if Ron's in here. Ron, you in here? I'll alert him. He's an email guy. Release alert. I'm going to look at that later. That's interesting. I'll look at that later. But something about lithium stock rally imminent. I can't tell if that's just another one of those sales calls or that has actual information into it. But hey, as I posted in the Discord, COHR has quite decent fundamentals. I nibbled and it's already paying off. Nice. Waiting for the gap to fill and load up more. Excellent. Yes, I did see that post, Locke. Excellent stuff. And if you guys are not a part of the Discord, we are starting to open it up to non-students or perspective. If you want to learn more about the markets, the Discord is attached to a website, 1on1Stocks.com, where it's just finite courses. You want to learn about charting, there's a charting course for you. Learn about options courses. Refreshers, are you a seasoned trader and you just want to learn a little extra psychology or a little extra techniques about scaling in, scaling out, protecting your capital? We have courses for that. The site is not complete yet, but it looks fantastic. And I'm not saying that biased. It does look, and it might be too fantastic. It takes up a lot of megabytes. I guess that's the word. You can tell how computer savvy I am not, but it takes up a lot of energy, and I'm a little concerned about that. But either way, I want to get it processed and seen, at least if we have to bring it down a notch. I want it I wanted to get it seen first in its perfect, not perfect, I shouldn't do that, but its best form before we have to backtrack it or ease off the gas on it. But it looks sick. Professionals, heck. So I know you can't see it with all my drawings, sorry. This was supposed to be the top, but now we have this fly up, but it's a hard resistance because the candle's already red. So we gapped up and we're just coming down, coming into this like spitting top formation. The day hasn't not ended yet. Obviously, we have another hour and a half, hour and 33 minutes. This could actually be a stronger red candle by the end of the day. I think that's the way I'm leaning toward. I'm leaning toward a revisit of this 454 or 455 area and a potential break. Dare I say that? If not, if it doesn't fully break today, looking for tomorrow. And that would help my 451 puts I have for the week on SPY. So here we go. I'm going to turn this back on. Let's see our levels. SQM, all lithium. Yes, we should have a lithium conversation in the Discord. There's so much to talk about lithium. About is Nevada the companies to look for? Is it Canada? I think Vancouver, right? Is that the big one? Or not Vancouver? It's not the county either. What do you call it in Canada? The section. I feel so terrible. Everyone I speak to that lives in Canada, they know so much about the United States. And the U.S., or at least me, I don't know enough about Canada. Like, I can ask a couple of my Canadian friends, who was the 14th president? And they'd be like, oh, that was, Chester A. Arthur. Province. That's it, province. Right? I understand that there's a province in Canada, but I think Venezuela or a South American country, that's where like the real cheddar is, which is in history not the best. When a country has a plethora of an export, chaos ensues, right? Or separation of wealth ensues. And I think we're getting off on a tangent right now, but I don't want to get into that. Sorry, my fault. So I think we might be revisiting here more and more. I'm leaning towards that. And let's check out the GEX. Don't take my word for it. Is it loaded? Yeah, okay, listen, sorry. Oh, wow. Okay, so it says we have a highest GEX 457, but the absolute is just below 456 and then 454 max pain. Interesting. So the highest call and put volume is also right behind there at 457. That might be keeping us up. It's like drinking an espresso after dinner on a Monday. Keep us up. They just don't stop, the bad jokes. They won't. Hey, look at what happened here. A flush down to our target, and now we're pushing below it. Let me shut off this volume profile. If I was trading actively today, that would have been a good trade. Box of resistance. It is in the plan. I should probably think about placing a trade down. I'm thinking about it. Box of resistance. Look at that now, right? Doesn't that look? Well, this actually looks better. It's stopping. Stop here. But trends are made to be broken. No one ever said that. That's not a thing. Don't write that down. And what was the other thing on Tesla? I said you'd be surprised. Tesla is gunning for that level way down here. And we got to label this one. We don't have to label it, but I will. Box of fantastical occurrences. If you thought trading couldn't get weirder, we now have a box of fantastical occurrences on the Tesla chart. Whoa, that's a bingo. How are we going to do it? Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. 454 is in my sights. Oh, man, I love it when a trade comes together and I'm not even in it. Push it real good. Yeah, I told you guys you'd want to hear copyright music rather than me singing. I just rescued this from falling off the desk. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Gatorade is thirsty. I wonder if you guys heard that. Is that like ASMR? Pouring over ice? Oh, Deer Park, that's good Gatorade. So pretty exciting stuff that we're seeing unfold here. What does it look like in a minute? We are catching that trend perfectly. But, like I said, trends are made to be broken. And this is calling your name. The box of resistance. It needs to be fed. So let's take a little macro view, and let's slide the Friday out to the next Friday. This is the line of potential trajectory. It's not a target line. It's just a potential trajectory, just to give me an inkling. This was measured using an approximation of the degree of the last couple or few downtrends on SPY. Right? It's not as smooth as this. It's not as fast as this. It's just a little in between, and actually a little more conservative. So we can expect, or I'm expecting according to SPY. So this just easily helps me plan out. By the OPEX 1215, we could be revisiting 440. Could be. Do not take this as trading advice. In fact, don't listen to anything I say. I don't have... Hey, box of resistance. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. So if we took the trade that we were looking at the box of resistance all the way up here at 456, now we are approaching 455. You have a 1-point move in a matter of 14 minutes. Not bad. 16 minutes, depending when I drew this. So this is the first level of resistance. That's that hard line, 455. The next one is down here. So this whole area became resistance. But just a look at the indicators here. The RSI is starting to get cold, but we could hang out here and try again. This might flag out for another leg lower. If you got anyone who took this, let me know. I'd be glad to hear it. We should have checked how much the puts were for that level, or to play that level. We probably should have. Yeah, I don't want to do that though. I don't want to call out plays that you should be taking. I just want to present the data, and then everyone can translate it to fit their style, right? To play it how you like to play it. Thank you, T. Thank you for your service. Moving you aside. Oh, yeah, my muffin. My Thomas's English muffin. I'm going to probably put that off and put that off and put that off. Oh, let me check this on the Discord. Speaking of putting things off, did I have to get back to someone? Today we're having several of us have been having a weekend workshop. Sometimes on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays. It is a standalone from coursework. It doesn't follow the structure of like a learning environment, but it's not structured learning, but it is fascinating, right? People share what they've been working with. We discuss it, and people keep coming back. So it's exciting. We're having a special one tonight, so there's not a lot of people that were ready for it. But if you're interested in attending, reach out to me in any way that you have. I know I'm pretty much in contact with anyone that's in this room. So however you're in contact with me, reach out that way through email, through Discord. Pick your poison. If you're not in the Discord and you're here from where you know me other places, consider the Discord. It's pinned at the top of the chat here. It's a free Discord. You can come in and check it out. Everyone in there has been invited, so they're either colleagues, friends, or former clients, or both. And ask around about me. But no, there you can see what we have to offer, and there's a lot of great minds in there. A lot of great minds. But if you are, I'm sorry, getting back to it. 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, we have a couple of superstars that are down to do it. And the more the merrier, right? The more the merrier. Again, it's a standalone from the courses. It's a one-shot deal. You don't have to commit to 4 courses, but it'll give you a taste of what we go over. Come on, pull it down. Pull it down. Make me whole. I want to see this touched again. And I want to see a new lower low. That would be interesting. Then we will have direction, right? I would expect, if we reach this level, to have a bit of a bounce, right? I don't see us breaking straight through to the other side. Maybe a bounce and a revisit of that line, then a break. Possible. If you didn't get it, it enters that right there. This should be hit it here, bounce off. That would keep it for a chance lower. Or keep it here for a chance to go higher. Could happen. It's possible. We are running out of time, though. It is an hour and 19 minutes before the end of the trading day. If you are playing a swing trade, you're considering it, also consider typing it in chat. See if you want to get any other insights in it. And if you guys are hanging out, I appreciate it. Hit the like button if you could. Just takes 2 seconds to hit the like. I mean, if you're enjoying anything, and even if you're not, go ahead. You're sitting here. Might as well get a like out of you. I appreciate it. All right, so now we were really cold on the RSI. Really cold. We're going to try and pull this back up a little bit. Not necessarily the price action. Price action could stay in the box, and the RSI could warm up a little bit. If that happens and we get to the 50s and the price action stays relatively in this area below 440, 455.32, that would be a recharge of our indicators, allowing us to go even lower. Let's see how that does. Meanwhile, Humana, I think it broke that line that we just mapped out. I shut off the, there we go. No. Yes, it did. It broke the line we mapped out and it reached now down to the other one. Watch this. We mapped out this line, came back, it tested again, dropped right down to this line, held it there, and then dropped down to this line. That's how you map out potential moves. Interesting. All right, back to the SPY. A box of resistance. Oh, it's funny. What's funny is even that I made myself laugh. I know I created that. It should not be funny to me, but I find it funny. Oh man! Coming out of the booth. Or I'm staying in the booth. Where's the Advil? Where's the Tylenol? This hard line. It's hard. Tesla's in the red now. Right? See where we're going now? Do you see where we're going now? Are we headed to the box of fantastical occurrences? I should say we are. That's close to 200. And if you think that we're not going to make a new lower low, because it's Tesla. Tesla's got to go up. Just look back. Look back to when Tesla was at 300. And I was screaming, not screaming, but I was saying over and over that we could break below 200. That's crazy. That's crazy. You're crazy. That's crazy. 299 down to 199 in 4 months. What's to say 250 to 170 in 1 month? No, 3 weeks. It's a little extreme, huh? I agree. But then again, now if you think that this move on Tesla, this previous down is out of the ordinary, just look back to the one before it, right here. This is not a full move down, but it matches up almost perfectly. The previous move down is a little more conservative, but not by much, right? We match up the top to the bottom. So we'll use this one. We'll go real conservative. Uber conservative. Far right. Bingo. Still within our box of fantastical occurrences, or the BOFO, as it's known, or the BOFO. That's what we call it around the office. The BOFO. Still within that area, but I really think the way Tesla is scripted almost, that this area does seem fitting to its personality. Because why not? Why not Tesla come into a three-way intersection of super supports and resistance? Why not? SPY, how are we doing? I'm coming out of the box. At 455 level. Holds again. Excuse me. What is not holding is Humana. Humana, I'm considering. Where did we mark that? Was it Humana or Cigna that said the next level down is the entry? I think it was Cigna. But now, hold on. Let me switch. Why am I going to draw it on the other line that no one's watching? Here we go. See, Humana is just plowing through these levels and these trend lines. If it breaks this trend line, this level is the next. And it sounds like these guys have a lot of stuff to work out. Until they work out and have an announcement, I don't see why it should stop coming down. Because there's no they're giving no information for anyone to have faith in who, because in a deal there's always someone that gets a little better than the other guy. They try to make it so it's easy, but someone always gets screwed somehow. And people always think it's going to be them. Right, rightfully so. It's a good mechanism, right? So 474 looks like a possibility here. Break that. I mean, it's like super low, but we want to anticipate, not improvise, so we're just going to mark it off just in case. 460 below that. So what would a 470 put? What is the liquidity on Humana? Fitzhume. What did I say? 475? Oh, they go by fives. And it's not liquid at all. Zero liquidity. At least for this Friday. Let's go out to the OPEX. Slightly more, but still very low. And the thing with liquidity and illiquidity, just to break it down, there's not a lot of people. It's not a very popular derivative market for Humana. It's more of a buying and holding long-term investment. So if you're going to play the options on Humana, the bid and the ask are wide and the spread is wide. So when you buy, you're automatically going to you're going to have to pay more than you would if you were selling it at that same point in time. Excuse me. And because you're doing that, you have to hold it through a big move. Apologies. You have to hold it through a big move so that you get back what you paid for up front. Because you're not going to get it exactly the price you want, and you're not going to get it. If you buy it, you have to hold it through a big move. That's it. Sorry. I got to work on my presentation. I try to over-explain things. I apologize. Stop apologizing. Okay, I apologize. Got it. All right. CRISPR. Sorry, Crisp. Did I ignore you for some TA? There you go. Hold that line. On behalf of my shares and shareholders everywhere, hold that line. Make us look good. All right, SPY, have you reached your final destination yet? Or a decision? Maybe I should have made that box a little bigger, huh? What if that box was up here? It would have been perfect. But things aren't always perfect. I might have to go at 3 o'clock, so I don't want to sign off abruptly, but I want I want to say thanks for everyone who came in. This was, again, another impromptu live session. I saw what happened in the morning, and I wanted to come on to get the afternoon shot of it. We had a good, so within that time frame, we kind of covered a lot, right? We have information about Humana and Cigna Group. We were alerted, thanks Locke. More news to come on that. We had a breakdown of the SPY, where we think it's going, where it's going today on the 0 DTE. We checked that, we accomplished that. And Tesla, another one that always wants to be talked about. We mapped out where I see it's going on a monthly basis, I guess, or a 3-week basis. Going down to test this, the BOFO. And if all goes according to plan, if this fails, we will stay in trend. If Tesla does not decide to start its journey down, and we seem to hold in this inner tanctum, right now that we're in this pitchfork area, this becomes a rising support. If you don't believe in pitchforks, that's perfectly fine, but this is something it's been respected. That cannot be denied. You know, it might be off a little bit of a few points here, but we're on the bottom side, we broke it, top side. We're going to revisit that again. I'll see you soon. So that's something to take into account. And then just first look here. This is a lowering MACD on the peaks, a rising price action. And the RSI confirms it, a lowering peaks on the RSI, rising price action. So more signs point to bearish than they do bullish. And that's really all we're trying to do. We're trying to get an edge on a coin flip. Every day is a coin flip. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? Then you get into semantics. How much are we going to go up? Where are we going to go up to? When should I get in? When should I get out? These are all personal choices and decisions. We can assist and show the data to say, hey, listen, this is where I believe a good entry would be and where an exit is. And we did that exactly with the SPY today. With the SPY, we said if it breaks above and this level holds, expect it to go back through the triangle and continue down. Where's it going to go? Where do I exit? This is the destination. This was the target, and we reached it. 455 in the box of resistance. So that's it. And we confirmed and we contrasted with our handy QTA. And let's just get another last update here. Excuse me. And these levels is what created that box of resistance, the intraday, the midpoint, and the 2-day VWAP. When we broke down and we entered that box, we came back up. When I was joking, I said, hey, the box should have been bigger. The box should definitely have been bigger. The 2-day VWAP is at 455.45. My box starts at 455.33. If we make it, let's make it. 455.44, close enough. Now, that works out perfect. We entered the box, we hit 455, we came up, we stayed within the box. The RSI had a chance to come back up, get a breath of air, get it almost to the 40s for another possible shot at the downside. If you're swinging for the rest of the week, we can take a shot of it and we get all the bias removed. Just looking at the price action, we came up, hit resistance, 455, came back down, broke it, flirted with 455 up and down for a while. Now we're revisiting it. If 455 should break again, 453.50 is in target. Break that, 452. Break that, 450. You know, just work by levels. And then plan to see how long you want to go. You can look at the divergence, see how strong this divergence is. How long this has been building is insane. We're on the 30-minute, but I mean, this is multiple time frames that have bullish divergence. We've been building this since the 14th. Price has been going up. MACD has been going down. Finally, if this starts to break and we make a new lower low, we'll be in convergence with the MACD, the RSI, and the price action. And a convergence downtrend is a very investable one. It's a nice one to trade. It's not an easy one, I shouldn't say, but it's a nice one to trade. And then you just wait for divergence to happen. You can say, wait, the convergence is over. Think about taking profit. And that's really the long and short of it. Get it? Yes. 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 On the daily, we do not have a divergence, or maybe, hold on, from here to here. See, it has a higher RSI, a little slightly higher, but this is a little slightly higher too. So no divergence. If this had been nice, consider this flat. If leaning one way or the other, this might be bullish divergence, but it's so weak. It's not a strong signal at all. This would just be a non-signal. Can't rain all the time, right? Meanwhile, one more look at Humana. There's some action there. We are holding at 480.36. I bet on a longer, bigger, wider time frame, right? Yeah, right at that trend line. Smack. Look at it. Look at that wick off of that trend line. Amazing. Now on the 4 hour, there should be a big red candle with a long wick on it. Big red candle, long wick on it. That candle closes right at the trend line. It will be amazing. I love it when TA comes together. But definitely thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to get rolling. Really, seriously, though, we could use a couple extra people for tonight. If you're interested in it, we go about 90 minutes. And shoot me an email or reach out to me in Discord. I'll tell you all the details about it. And what to expect. It's a very respected and elite, I guess you could say, way to look at the markets. So it's not really like a hangout, although we do have fun. I mean, you know me. I always try to be the goofy one in the room to take the tension out. But I really want to thank you guys. Thank you, Locke, for contributing today. I always enjoy when you contribute. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Stretching again. I didn't realize. But I'm going to go get something to eat. I have a class at 4:15, and we usually go late. But tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, if you're free, give me an email, stockdoc2k@gmail.com, and we'll see if you're right for it. All right? Guys, thank you so much. Also, check out the Discord. It's at the top here in the pinned message. And in the description, if you're looking for TradingView, there's a $15 off affiliate. If you're looking for Webull, there's 20 free Frac shares. I think it lasts till tomorrow. And also, the QTA sign-up is in there. Use that. If you have any issues with the price, hit me up an email. We can work something out. Oh, sure, man. Sure, Locke. You would be a great asset to it. I'll talk to you and I'll message you in Discord. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. And enjoy the list. I know I'm tuning out at Power Hour, my favorite hour of the day. But I really have to I got to be responsible. I got to take care of things. Actually, just a real quick note. Speaking of responsibility, I said I'm going to sign on today and go live, and I'm not going to trade. No matter what I see coming down the pipe, like this SPY trade, right? We called it out, and I really had a good feeling of that move. I didn't go after it because I know I can't do both, and that's realizing your limits. And once you get that, you'll be a lot better trader, because we're not opponents. It's not a football game. We can't get all riled up and just cheer our team on, and we'll end up just doing better, out of sheer just will. It's not like that. There is no opponent. It's only ourselves. We only can defeat ourselves. So that's the idea, that to take the human emotion and bias out, replace it with cold, hard thinking and sticking to plans and rules. So I appreciate you. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Take care. Peace.